green plastic watering can.
I had a friend named Jamie Evans. He made my life better. We met in August 1982 in an orientation small group as entering students at Princeton Theological Seminary. We connected immediately. We both loved to read and write and were big on the Inklings, Lewis, Tolkien, and Williams. That first semester, Jamie stuck his head in my window to wake me up and go jogging every morning. Noel, time to go running. I hated that, and got even, posting announcements around campus of his upcoming lecture. I went into his room one night to see if he wanted to walk downtown, and he said we should bring Rocket. Who's Rocket? I asked. He got a big grin, reached into a drawer, and pulled out a bottle rocket. With SWAT team precision, he led me down the hall and lit the rocket under the door of a friend named Rod, but everyone called him Rocket from then on, thanks to Jamie. We were in 2 plays together and 2 secret societies, which were pointless but fun. In our senior year, cramming for our ordination exams in polity, Jamie burst into my room and said, "Pack a bag, get a toothbrush, we're going to D.C." I tried to talk sense to him. He knew how hard we had to work to get over the polity hurdle. He pulled out the heavy artillery. "Noel, this is an adventure. The wardrobe is open. You think we're going to care about polity 20 years from now?" We ran around D.C. for 2 days. I was a guest treated as a son, and it was the best possible use of our study time. So much for Presbyterian polity. Ministry took us to different parts of the country. We wrote or called occasionally, visited a couple of times, but we reconnected when he took the call at Cambria, where I had been interim pastor. I went into a very risky new church development, which turned out badly in a backstabby presbytery. The project tanked, and I went into a deep funk and felt like a failure. Jamie said, "You need a broom tree, a Rivendell. Let's go up to Bass Lake." We ended up climbing Half Dome. For Jamie, this was like a morning jog. For me, it was Everest. Climbing steep stone steps beside the waterfall, we played at being Sam and Frodo on the way to Mordor. Yeah, we're geeks, I know. Several times when we had slowed to a crawl, Jamie reached over and pulled the pack off my shoulders and carried them both. Had he not been such a close friend, I would have felt ashamed. We finished a lot of old conversations and started new ones. God, life, family, the church, truth, beauty, stuff friends talk about. But he got me up the mountain. At the top, he led me to a little cave with a ledge dropping down to infinity. Crouched together in there, he explained to me we were on something called the diving board, a little lip of stone that actually stood out over the cliffs. "And if we had an earthquake right now?" I asked. His eyes widened and he got that big grin of his and said, "See you in the kingdom." So much for fear of heights, or feeling like a failure. When Jamie and his family were called to Fresno, he asked me to give him his charge. Among other things, I told him to act his age, lose some hair, gain some weight, quit being so George Clooney-ish. Jamie declined my advice. Jamie Evans was a lot of things to a lot of people: a son, a brother, a father, a preacher, teacher, pastor, mechanic. He was my friend. He was to me a great play friend, a firm encourager, a rocket under my door. Thank you, Jamie. See you in the kingdom.